Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite companies. It's Sleep Number Corporation, ticker symbol SNBR. So these guys are into consumer cyclicals, making furnishing, fixtures and beds. And with that today is April 22nd, 2021. And they have a very nice looking bed here. It's a sleep number bed. You can adjust the settings on one side or the other side. You can make it hot, cold, comfortable. You can even monitor your sleep. And it also offers connected health solutions. So with that, global mattress market is expected to grow by 6.2%, and this company is really poised to take a very good chunk of this growth. So with that, if you look at market opportunity here, these guys are leaders in sleep number bed, and consumers are really liking the way these guys are doing. And they're also into health trends. They want to make the beds more connected and make it more monitorable. And with that, they're really broadening their leadership. They are leaders in the mattress area with adjustable mattress and bedding. They want to go into sleep solutions, sleep health, and connected health. So this is how they grow from their core segment into adjacencies. And as you look at their what they're doing here, they are innovators when it comes to sleep health, and they're also going after chronic sleep management, and they also want to go into remote monitoring. So with that, it's a complete solution from sleep health insights all the way to chronic management and remote monitoring. And if you look at the company here, they are into providing sleep solutions, and they provide mattress, pillows, sheets, bedding products, and they also provide this famous adjustable bases, and they also provide sleep IQ for kids. So with the stock price is $110, market cap is $2.73 billion. 75% of the employees approve the CEO, Miss Shelley. And I love their stock chart. As you can see here, stock has done very nicely. And last 6 months or so, stock has gone up so nicely, as you can see here. It's only natural for it to take some breather here, which is very natural. And if you look at the CEO here, she has been CEO since June 2012, and she has a passion to really look at this industry nicely, and she's very innovative. And she has been working in this area for a long time, and she was also in Target Corporation before and Macy's. So really, CEO checks out. She is very committed, and she's doing a great job. So with that, if you look at the news here, basically stock market, sleep number stock pulled today, 11%. It's basically because there's some supply chain issues. They can't deliver their product. There's a 2 week delay, mainly because the mattress foam is very hard to get, and they're working through their supply chain issues. That's the main thing. They missed their Q1 sales. That's why stock came down. It's really supply chain problem, which is understandable. So with that, let's jump into a little more detail. So if you look at the competition here, we got a couple of companies which are related. If you look at the companies here, they're arranged by their 1 year performance here. On a 1 year performance basis, Sleep Number is clearly the leader here. They have 414% performance in last just 1 year. And I like their sales growth, nice sales growth here. Quarter over quarter growth is also very nice. Very good gross margin. Right now, as you can see here, there's a short percentage here. Short float is 10.62. It's rather high at this point. That's why stock is coming down, because these short sellers are really cashing in at this point. And then we got cons, here very good performance, 370%. And their sales growth is a little bit less here, it's negative, but nice gross margin. And I love Harvey's. It's again, very good sales growth from a quarter over quarter perspective, nice gross margin, very good performance. And we got Tempur and Purple Innovation, same story, nice sales growth and nice gross margin and very good performance year in 1 year. And then we got Casper Sleep again, very good 1 year growth from a sales perspective, and they also have nice gross margin. So with that, my favorites are really, Sleep Number and even Cons is good enough. And then we got Temper, Purple, and Casper. Casper, I think it's been lagging a little bit, as you can see here, 18%. But I would pick maybe, the top player here, Sleep Number, which has been doing very, very well. This could be a temporary issue with the supply chain that we could take advantage and buy some stock. So if you look at the numbers here, quick statistics, on February 18, it got an upgrade from UBS, and it had some downgrade in the past, but at least we got a good upgrade from UBS in February. And I love these numbers here, the earnings per share. It's been increasing consistently, as you can see here. Sales has been growing consistently year over year. That's very good. And they're also managing to decrease their shares outstanding. It's a very good indication. You want earnings per shares to go up, sales to go up, and the shares outstanding to go down. That's a very good trend. That will create less supply of the shares and more demand. That will make your share stock go up. And with that, as you can see, our performance is tremendous in 1 year, 377%. But last month and last week, they've come down drastically. This could be a chance for us to get in and buy some and keep it for long term. And as you can see here, insiders own around 2% of the shares, and insiders have sold some shares. It's also creating some pressure on the stock because 26% transactions from an insider perspective. And very good gross margin. I love this gross margin. And companies also making money. They have a net profit margin. It's very good to see a company making money in this day and age. And they got shares outstanding, as we can see here, it's dropping, which is good. And 52-week range, it's pretty respectable. And RSI is low because stock has sold off right now. And I think overall it's a good story here. I love their sales growth here, past 5 years, 8.90 quarter over quarter, very nice growth. And also earnings per share, very good growth here. I like the clip here, the way they're growing their earnings per share. It's very nice. So with that, let's look at the quick, fundamental chart here. Stock price is 110. They're down $14 today because of the earnings, because of the revenue miss. And stock came down by 11% today itself. Market cap is around 2.73 billion. So with that, if you look at the market cap overall, all the way from September 2018 till now, I think they've done very, very well. September it was 1.17 billion, and now they're 2.03 billion. It dropped a little bit now, it's 2.73 now, but overall, as you can see here, very good market cap acceleration, slowly but steadily. And price also, stock price came up all the way from $35 back in 2018, now $81, and it dropped a little bit, it's $110 now. And sales also, very good acceleration in the sales quarter over quarter, very good. And if you look at the quarter over quarter change, very good change, a positive change, as you can see here. And stock came down pretty hard because they had an earnings miss this time around by 11.91 million. That's why stock came down pretty hard. Companies basically talking about their supply chain issues, a 2 week delay because of lack of foam in the supply chain. And also there is a high demand for mattresses. I think overall it's a good situation. They have very good demand. They cannot supply in the beds, and they're working through this supply chain issues. They think this problem will be over by second quarter. That's a good sign here. And they've been surprising on the earnings per share all along, as you can see here. Very nice acceleration in the earnings price per share. That's a good sign. And they got good amount of cash. They do have some debt, which is understandable because it's a capital intensive industry. And free cash flow is negative, operating cash flow is negative. Very good gross margin, I love this. And they have operating margin as well as net profit margin. Companies making money. And from a valuation perspective, both price to earnings perspective and price to sales perspective, it's not expensive. It's pretty reasonable here. That's why I love this stock. Stock has been doing very nicely over the last couple of years. Now there is a chance to buy this stock at a discounted price. So with that, if you look at their earnings statement, they did very well. They have very good demand, 30% higher than prior year, and they're also doing very good when it comes to investments. They're doing this 360 smart bed, which is always good, and they're also improving their profitability. There is also improvement in consumer demand. Earnings per share, they're raising their earnings per share. That's always good. And they're also growing their operating income. EBITDA also grew. So they also have some financing here. They increased their revolving finance to 600 million to really take advantage and invest more. And they're also increasing their investments in R&D, which is always good. It's good to see a company investing in the R&D. So with that, let's jump in here and look at the performance. If you look at the performance here on a yearly basis, I love this. If you see here, last 3 years they've done very nicely. 55% performance, 66, 34. Very nice performance. Overall. Now, if you look at the monthly performance here, April they dropped so much as you can see here. Um, and I think overall they've done nicely. March, February, all this month they've done nicely, but April is the month, mainly because of this drop here. The stock has dropped so much. And they also had some drop back. If you look at here, March, they've dropped so much here. So this could be a trend. There is some pattern here. Last March they dropped. This time April they dropped. So they recovered from the March drop. Which is a good sign. So I think this drop is also probably temporary. Good time to buy some. Now, if you look at their weekly performance, I think they've done nicely overall, but last 3 weeks or so, it's down. So this could be a good time to really, come in and buy some. And if you look at the daily performance here, as you can see here, April was a little bit difficult on them, so they've been dropping, consistently. But let's see, after today's drop, after the earnings, there could be some clear sign for the stock to go up. If you look at the insider trading here, I think there is a director here, Wallet. I think this person sold a lot of shares worth $3.4 million, back in 5th of April. So I think this person sold at a higher price. So that may be causing some pressure, but not too much because it's just 25,000 shares, not huge. But sometimes people look at the insiders selling and they kind of think insiders may be selling to take advantage. They might have some insider news. So with that, I think I don't see it's a good, big red flag because it's understandable. These insiders, they have so much shares, they have to sell at times. From a technical perspective, stock has done very nicely. They announced the earnings here. Stock was kind of flat here. Announced earnings here, stock went up. One more earnings, stock kind of traded sideways and went up. Now one more earnings, stock kind of dropped. I'm thinking, this could be something similar to what we've seen in the past. If you see here, stock kind of, sold off and then recovered. I'm thinking the same thing because stock has come down drastically, toward the earnings, and now it has dropped. I think it will make a base and make its way, make its journey upwards. And if you look at RSI is really sold off. So this is around 43, And you can't see, 1 year chart, you can't see RSI this low. I think, this has to kind of, improve itself. I don't see anything fundamentally wrong with the company. It's really supply chain issues, foam, issues around supplying the foam. That should resolve itself in a couple of weeks. And if you look at the DMI chart, right now with this drop, the blue line is below red line, which is a bearish sign. And the volume perspective, I see there's a good volume. It's a little bit dropped off now, which is very much understandable. When the stock drops off like this, the volume average also drops off. One thing I see here is check-in money flow is showing people smart money is really getting into the stock. That's a good sign. So I think, even though stock is dropping, there is an improvement in check-in money flow. Smart money is flowing into the stock. So I would buy some, so that way I can take advantage of this better price. Now if you look at the option chain here, stock is around 110, and we got a lot of open interest here at 115, 120. So that tells me there is interest in this stock even at a higher price. For example, 115 here, we got 106 open interest. And as you go down here, we got around 135. There is a good interest here. So there is a good interest at a higher strike prices. And as you look at the put here, there is not too much open interest. There is some open interest at 110, the current price. I'm thinking people must have paid a lot of money today to buy this put option, or maybe a couple days ago. If the stock goes up, these guys will lose their money. But if the stock goes down, it's a good hedge for them. So with that, if you look at the put call ratio here, lot of calls traded compared to puts. That makes the put call ratio 0.32. So anytime you see lot more call volume, that indicates folks are betting this share will go up. Currently IV rank is 13%. So even if you want to buy call option for long term, 90 days or beyond, you could easily buy a call option because the IV rank is very low. And you could even buy a call spread. If you want to buy a call spread, you could do maybe 105, 100, 115, or you can increase the spread if you want to. Or you can even buy a Delta 70 call option 3-4 months out. So with that, what do we do now? The stock has dropped, earnings is out. What should you do? I feel like they have a good sales acceleration by looking at the fundamentals, and the first quarter demand was more than 30% higher than the prior year. That's always good. And there is an accelerated shift, in the consumer trends towards prioritizing their health and digital products. And these guys are also into digital sales. And shares outstanding is reducing. That's always a good sign. And companies increasing the R&D, they want to be the leader in the connected sleeping, so monitoring the sleep area. That's why companies increasing R&D. That's always good. And their gross margin is expanding. That's always good. And today stock fell mainly because they missed the earnings, mainly because there is a lack of foam in the supply chain, because of high demand for mattress in general. That's a good problem to have. It's a mattress company. There is a high demand for mattress. Only short-term situation is this supply chain issue, and the company thinks this problem will be resolved in second quarter. So I think it's a temporary weakness. That's why we should be able to buy the stock at a lower price. So I feel the stock is oversold at this point. I think it's a very good buying opportunity by looking at the chart, looking at the fundamentals and technicals. So with that, thank you very much. Happy investing.